Hello guys and welcome back, and I apologize for the absence of publishing videos. I've just been really busy. I have been recording the videos as I've been working on Alvaville Railroad, so just need to get caught up. I've got plenty of videos to publish, so I hope you guys stay tuned. Um, so jumping right in, what I'm doing here is I'm applying the 90% isopropyl alcohol in between the ties there at the where the point rail and the stock rail make contact. This step probably isn't necessary. The reason I do it is because I use a little bit thicker glue water ratio mix when applying ballast around the turnout. So here I'm going back and just applying the glue water mix with the eyedropper. This enables me to keep things nice and clean. The goal here is to keep any ballast from getting in between the point rail and the stock rail. And so yeah, there I'm using my professional grade white ballast applicator. Now these things are useful. It's amazing some of the things that you can just spend a little bit of money on and just find it very useful. Plastic spoon being one. So here I'm just going back and just kind of tapping in the ballast. Again, just trying not to make a mess, trying to keep as much ballast out of the point rail, stock rail area, so that I don't have any problems with any derailing rolling stock in the future. So here I'm just taking my artist brush, and right now I am just kind of cleaning out around the point rail and the stock rail. And then what I do is I come in and just kind of distribute the ballast a little bit more evenly. You don't really have to do this, when say like applying ballast to, like your main line, for instance. But here around the turnouts, I do take a little bit more care and take my time just to, keep from doing anything that would make the turnout not work correctly. So here I'm just coming in, and I found a couple of areas where it needed a little bit more ballast. I just grab a pinch of ballast and just go ahead and drop that in the areas that need a little bit more. And again, just come back with my brush and just kind of distribute, kind of tamping, if you will, pushing it down in between the railroad ties. Okay, so after I've got the ballast evenly distributed between the railroad ties, I go ahead and start on the main route and the diverging route, just working my way towards the actual turnout, because my goal here is to knock this little area out here all at once. So this is just the way I like to do it. It's not the right or the wrong way, it's what works for me. And you'll find that as you work on your railroad, it's really about whatever works for you. But one note here, you can see I'm not having to use a whole lot of ballast in the middle. I just try to distribute it evenly, and then I'll come back with the brush and go ahead and try to compact it a little bit in between the ties, as I'm showing right there. So I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but where I'm applying the ballast right now, I did not apply the 90% isopropyl alcohol and the diluted glue water mix. Again, the reason I did that around the turnout was just to try to minimize or prevent any type of reduction in the electrical conductivity that's established between the point rail and the stock rail, and also just to try to keep the point rail and stock rail making a nice flush contact so that the flange of the wheel doesn't get caught up and cause there to be a derailment of your train. So here I'm just going back and just kind of evenly distributing the ballast on the main line. Okay, so after I've got the ballast applied to the center of the track, I come back in again and apply the 90% isopropyl alcohol in between the railroad ties. Again, if you were using regular ballast, you probably wouldn't have to use so much isopropyl alcohol. The reason that I needed to do it here is because I am using cat litter and it's highly absorbent. So in order to get the glue to be distributed evenly and correctly, I need to come back through and kind of re-wick everything, if you will, with the isopropyl alcohol. Again, I'm being very careful. I don't want to get glue on top of the railroad ties here. I just want to take my time and make sure that everything is wicked correctly with the isopropyl alcohol. Then after I get that done, I come back with my glue water mix, and again, just using an eyedropper. I'm just trying to be very careful and apply the glue in between the railroad ties. I know this looks tedious and there's probably faster ways to do it, but I've found that if I just take my time using an eyedropper, just going in between each rail, that I have a lot better result than if I try to rush things. So this is, for me anyway, this is only necessary around the turnout. Now, like I said earlier, when I get on a stretch of track or whatever that's nowhere near a turnout, I just I ballast pretty quickly there. But here it goes a little bit slower. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is notice that I'm only applying the ballast and the glue in between the point rails. I'm not trying to force any ballast in between the point rail and the stock rail. So I recommend that you just leave that area void of ballast, because like I said, you don't want to get ballast glued in there and then come back through and with an X-Acto knife and trying to pick the ballast out between the point rail and the stock rail. And here I'm just going through and just trying to tamp or pack the ballast around the frog area there, just to get a nice even application of ballast. There I'm just kind of moving things around with my X-Acto knife and just kind of cleaning as I go along. Then I'll go back and apply the glue in the frog area. Then after I get that done, I'll come back with the isopropyl alcohol and just kind of wick the sides of the rail there. And as you can see, it's kind of wicking its way through to the middle of the track there. You can see where the ballast is turning darker. And again, notice notice where I start at. I start at the where the point rail ends, and just kind of work my way away from the turnout and getting the diverging and the main route there. Just the goal here is to get the isopropyl alcohol to wick into the center of the track, so that when the glue is applied, it will it'll soak down into the ballast a little bit better. For those of you who don't know, the reason we use the isopropyl alcohol or the wet water is it reduces the surface tension, and so it allows glue to penetrate into the little nooks and crannies a little bit better. So that's the whole reason in doing this. And I just come back over any areas that didn't wick through. I just come back with the isopropyl alcohol and just kind of re-wet those areas. Then once I'm done with that, then I come back again with the glue water mix and start applying again with the eyedropper. And here I can't remember if I think I go ahead and just use the eyedropper and just work my way away from the turnout. I guess if you wanted to, you could probably use a glue bottle or something like that. I found it goes a little quicker if I just use like an Elmer's glue bottle and mix my glue water mix in that and use that as the dispenser. But I wouldn't recommend using that around your turnout. Okay, so now I'm applying the glue up where the guardrail or the check rails are at. So yeah, it takes a little while to do a turnout, and I had several turnouts for the Alvaville Railroad, at least for phase 1, because of the train yard. So it took me a while to get these done, but I'm glad I took my time on it, because after I was finished, I only had to go back and kind of readjust like 1 or 2 of the turnouts where the actuator wasn't throwing the throw bar all the way over, so the point rail wasn't making contact with the stock rail. So I was pleased with the turnout. I don't have pictures of the finished turnout in this video, but like I said, I have several videos that I'm getting ready to put out there, to push out to YouTube. So I hope you guys will stay tuned and watch those. In this video, I did not show the applying the ballast to the shoulder, but it's the same process as what I've showed in the other videos. You just need to be very careful when you're down around the throw bar area that you don't glue the throw bar down and allow it to easily switch back and forth. So I hope this video was helpful, and guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.